I mean, just I want to focus kind of on a few plot lines because I mean, there's so much to talk. We can talk at it in broadness, but I think there was some things like we had obviously the basic story of Sparrow Academy and Umbrella Academy, and then what we did with this the Kugel Blitz, the grandfather
Yeah,
paradigm.
yeah,
You had the Harlan storyline and the issue of
Yeah.
transference of power.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I'm gonna say the ones that I thought was most important, maybe not in the totality, but obviously I the change of uh, Paige transitioning as well in the show, and then of course the final of this, which I completely forgot from season two, but was the storyline of um, the dad, the what's his name, being the alien in the ship and the
Yeah,
Hargreaves.
yeah, yeah,
Oblivion.
yeah,
Yeah, Elliot,
yeah,
Ellen to Elliot, and the Victor edition, and then yeah, the stuff with
yeah.
Mr. Hargreaves.
Yes,
so
yes.
so. I want to kind of let's see if we can isolate on that. So let's go with the dad storyline
Well,
with the
I think
alien.
that's the big one. That's
Yeah,
that's the big one. It's probably the big overarching story of the whole three
right.
seasons is really this Reginald Hargraves, and I'm
Right.
like you, I'd forgotten half the stuff that guy had done in the previous episode seasons, and
Yeah,
that's where this whole binge watching thing I
works
realized
against
kind
you.
of against you because
Yeah,
if you watch a show weekend and then you go listen to all the the podcasts or you go listen to all the people will fill you in each week on what's happening.
right.
But this one, we got to the ending, and Reginald does this thing with the spaceship and stuff, and you go, what? And then I went back, and they talked about his leaving the planet. They talked
Yeah,
about him. Oh, that was people he killed in episode. Sorry, season two, with his
Yeah.
moon projects and
yeah,
his wife and his loves and stuff, and that was all so important because that's where number three really is. It's about him getting into that spaceship
yeah.
or whatever that,
Yeah,
whatever.
the hotel spaceship, whatever dimension thing.
Because that's where it was all heading, and him just manipulating everybody around him.
And
Um,
honestly, not having that information in my mind really adjusted how, like, if I had real, and I feel like they also kind of understood that most people were not going to watch season two before getting to season three. Because I feel like if we understood
Yeah.
or had remembered everything from season two, then the way that he was acting in season three would have been less shocking,
yeah,
if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like the manipulation would have made more sense. It's like what he was doing with Klaus would have been like, what is it that adds to the bigger picture that you're trying to
yeah,
do here? And because I
yeah.
didn't have that, because I never go back and look at a full season again,
No, no, no.
previous to it's like no, I don't fully know. I was like, I'm actually believing. I was like, oh, maybe he's actually becoming a better person. And
Well, that's always the question. We're still wondering. I mean, the show does it open up the idea that he's either good or bad? To me, he's bad, right?
yeah,
I,
I think
I, I
he's
think he's an
inherently a
asshole.
villain, but I don't feel like it's the liar revealed, which is really helpful. It doesn't feel liar revealed villain. It feels like um, almost like Khonshu in Moon Knight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's a
you
good
can tell
example.
the elements are
Um,
there. It's just perspective in that matter.
uh,
Yeah,
it
he has his own
reminds
agenda.
me of freak. I keep forgetting the Matthew McConaughey space movie.
Oh, Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
sorry, I got sidetracked. It kind of makes me feel like it's similar to Miss Marvel. Like I think he just wants to get home,
Yeah,
but in order to get home, he has to crap on everything. Kind of like with the Jin. They
yeah,
just want to go home,
yeah.
but You
At
gotta
whatever
capitalize.
cost it is
Yeah.
to get.
Well, he wants to get with he wanted his wife back, which he gets. Like he
Yeah.
gets. It looks like at the end of that season, he's got everything he wanted. He got his wife back.
Right.
He rebooted, but and this is where it gets a bit funny, is that he got everything he wanted. Did the
And it's
Umbrella
not,
Academy get everything that they were? He didn't do it at their The question is, at what expense did he get what he wants? So I think he made a deal with Allison in that room when Five kind of sees what's going on in that room. We know he made a deal with her to get everyone into that room and everyone into that spaceship.
Right.
And the way then we have that big climax. The guys are standing on the stars and all the stuff's getting sucked out of them. And we see that she's not in the middle. And they
Like she was
say,
initially supposed to.
don't push the button. Don't push the button. And she does. I'm convinced she pushes the button because she knows it's going to reboot. And it looks like, from what we've seen, because it can't happen really any other way,
Right.
she pushes the button and somehow Hargraves promises if you press that button, despite what everyone else is going to tell you, I'll give you back your daughter and your husband from the 60s.
Right.
Because that can't happen in reality, right? It can't because she's in the...
She never
2000.
existed, so she
So
couldn't.
he says, so in that room where they make that deal, that Five almost sees, that's the deal he makes with her. So she gets what she wants.
Right.
she gets both.
She gets
Like
what she
the
wants.
husband.
Obviously, Thingo doesn't die. Like he kills one. He kills Luther, which was pretty terrible, right?
Yeah, that was again one of those surprising things. But again, with whatever their version of the afterlife exists. But yeah,
I hated that.
But then he comes back,
Yeah.
and so Hardgraves, in his typical hard assness, can just say, "I killed you, but I knew you came back." So same with
what are
Klaus.
you worried about? What are you upset about?
I thought you would come back anyway. But Sloane doesn't come back.
Right.
And so he doesn't get what he wants.
Right.
He found love. He's always been a loner. He's always been...
He got what he wanted from the past whenever it was before Sloane, which was to find normality so he could be with an Allison or at that time.
Yeah.
Which think goes back to what you're saying about what the deal was with Allison. Whatever it is that you desire, you can be returned to.
See, Allison was a storyline that jumped out at me.
Yeah.
She was, and I kept thinking Harlan was going to come back to life. Because she didn't see her kill him.
Yeah.
I thought, but she did kill him. She actually, and interesting enough, they did it off screen. Like we didn't see it, which means that the writers and the directors of the show truly believed if we'd seen her kill it, we would not have forgiven it.
Right.
Like we would not have. And even then, I'm still pissed off she killed. Like Allison had me. Yeah.
It was a huge dissection from what we've normally seen. Who obviously she's been carrying, but I think it's also the realist. Whenever it's like PTSD has really kicked in.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying it was bad. And I didn't say it was actually bad. I'm just saying it was really stretched.
It was excellent. It was.
But
I think it's great that it's like it shows what happens when your anchors get lost. Because for her, obviously the daughter was the anchor, and that was real life.
And that's the other thing, is that she really rips into Victor at one point. And I think at the wedding, which I love that whole episode of the wedding, by the way. Even though it all happened in one place, nothing really happened. But she just tears him to shreds. And you're sitting there thinking, man, have you been too rough? And then that's when you do need to think about what happened in previous seasons. Like, Victor put everyone, the whole world, when he's playing that violin, that was Victor's doing. That was, he cut her throat, remember? With the...
Did she?
Victor cut Allison's throat in the first season.
To prevent her from doing the rumor. Yeah.
So you think about that stuff, and that's where the probably need to do. every episode should probably start with previously on.
Yeah, Umbrella Academy is one that needs to do the previously on, because you do, there is so much that connect, and I think it's such a great point to that measure, because especially with a person like Victor, we always have an assumption of the victimization, because Victor has always been so diminutive and quiet and soft spoken. But we also remember that Victor is also the reason why the world basically ends every single time. Every single time. He is this reason. Even with Harlan, like, he's the reason why the Klugerwitz Blitz exists. Because of Harlan popping the moms completely, which was an intense scene at that.
Very intense. Very intense. So who was you guys? Who was your MVPs? Who was your most valuable performer? Who did it for you? And was it a Sparrow Academy? Was it the Umbrella? Was it who impressed you this season, boys?
I was impressed by Juan's new girlfriend. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Luther?
I'm impressed by Klaus. Klaus.
Klaus is Klaus.
Yeah, I love Klaus.
Klaus finally felt like relevant for the first time. Like,
yes, that's why.
It was interesting to finally be like, oh, I get why he's actually important. Like, he's not just Johnny Depp, psychedelic guy who happens to always just talk to dead people. It's like,
he's actually OP.
If you own it, that he is legitimately OP.
He's overpowered,
he's legitimately OP. You needed to. He can only exist in the element that he has to be completely messed up, or else he would be. I don't know if he would be more powerful than Vic. He'd be the most powerful person. I can raise the dead. I can never die, and I can maneuver between dimensions. I can go to any universe. Start from this afterlife and jump in, and I can bring people up and solidify them. Like, yo, what?
That is so OP, right? And
he's. I love Klaus, my man. I love Klaus, whether he's OP'd or not. He always makes me laugh. And but you're right. I mean, as far as a superhero, in fact, it took a long time before anyone did anything superhero. Which after that initial fight, like Diego for a long time just seems like a dude who throws knives around like anyone else. Like,
it's like, what's the big deal? Okay, you're a knife thrower. You're just skilled. But
and even Five, who to me Five is kind of he's the brains of that outfit. Like, he's the one who's, if you're looking at plot, what role he plays, he's the one who figures out the plot and tells it. And he did that same, but because I guess we don't see.
He's also the least smart of them.
I think they all kind of they all dropped their powers down a little bit for this stuff. Luther, it's hard. I think in the end there he beats up on one of the baddies and stuff. But we don't really see the foot. But that's okay, right? Like,
I don't think the issue was always about the power. But
no, it's not an issue.
Of who I actually thought was my MVP from this season, Klaus aside, I thought Klaus was great, but I think as annoying as he started to become after a little bit, I think one was Ben, and I think the other person that I had on there was
Ben was great.
The fake kid of Diego.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Was his name Stan? Yeah. The son who was not the son.
Fake kid, fake son.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. What was it?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, no.
Love his face when he shot Clouds. He's like, oh shit.
Stan.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I thought both of them played.
Sorry.
I thought both of them played so well, because I thought we finally got Ben as we saw, because we only saw him as like an ethereal effect of Klaus. Whenever Klaus was able to talk with Ben all the time,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of annoying in terms of his cynicism in that. But to see him go like full insecure sociopath in a way where it's like you're overcompensating so hard. Like
Yeah.
you're
I have to admit, he annoyed me.
That's why I said
The
he
whole
was annoying. But
the Sparrow Academy stuff. Well, I was watching it with Romina, and she says, and I'd seen a couple episodes. I'd seen up to the bit where Harlan comes through and kills about 3 of them all at once.
right.
And I'd seen up to and then I stopped watching. And then I saw Romina starting to watch the first 2 episodes, and she said, "What is Sparrow Academy?" She says, "I hope they die."
Let's remind our friends to please click on the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when we have new videos out.
Subscribe.
Subscribe!
Die. Oh, die.